Welcome to Cougar Mountain Software Denali Essential Training.
Denali General Ledger Recurring Transactions. Journal entries that are the same and occur on a frequent basis can be set up as recurring transactions. This makes entries a quicker process than entering them one at a time when processing. MultiBatch Mode must be enabled to do recurring transactions. This is set in Module Preferences through the Options menu. To process recurring transactions, select New Batch from the menu, or a user will be prompted to create one. Recurring transactions require a separate batch. This is where modifications can be made later. Once a batch has been created or selected, the journal entry detail grid must be opened where specific journal entry information will be entered. The date should be the system date selected, or the Denali system date if selected by default. Enter a description if applicable. The reference number will auto-generate by default but can be changed. Enter the information for each account being adjusted with the journal entry in the grid below, indicating if the specific entry is a credit or debit and the amount of the entry. Each line can have its own description if needed. The transaction debits and credits must balance after all lines have been entered. Once the transaction is entered and saved, it can be generated again on a recurring basis as needed from this batch. To generate the recurring transactions for posting, under Journal, select Generate Journal Entries from and Recurring. If there are multiple recurring batches, they will be shown here. Select the appropriate batch or batches from the list. The original batch date will show on the transactions, but the date will change as the entries are generated. The original reference numbers can be used, or a new reference number can be generated by checking the box at the bottom. If this is left unchecked, it will use the same posting reference number used originally when setting up the batch. Click the Generate button when ready. A box indicating the number of transactions generated will appear. If the transactions need to be edited after the fact, open the Edit Journal Activity window, then use the Find button to retrieve the transactions. Make any modifications needed and save again before printing the pre-posting reports. Once the transactions have been verified as correct, they can be posted. Always confirm the accuracy of the transactions again by looking at the posting audit report. By setting up recurring transactions in journal entry, processing time can be reduced for entries that are used often on an ongoing basis.